moving, maybe pivoting our discussion a little bit, but still building on skills. So both of our organizations are involved with the Open Skills Network, Skills Collaboratives, involving Rich Skills Descriptors, or RSDs. What excites you about RSDs, and what do you hope to see from your collaborative?
Well, there's a great investment based out of Western Governors University in Utah, funded by, and let's acknowledge that, funded by the Walmart Foundation. A real attempt in the US where there is no equivalent of the AQTF. There's a real attempt in the US to create a standardized model of skills descriptions or competency descriptions, and they're taking the approach of making them machine readable from the beginning. And what does machine readable mean? Well, that means if you gain your evidence through some activity that can be observed or recorded by a machine, then you can match that using some version of machine language, artificial intelligence, to a skills database. And so you can automate the matching of what you learned to a standardized taxonomy or way of speaking it. If the Australian the Australian Quality Training Framework, all the training packages in Australia were machine readable, then you'd be able to do a lot more recognition in workplace learning settings, a lot more automated recognition by use of machinery and so on and so forth. So that process needs to start with a machine readable taxonomy. And so that's what's exciting about the Open Skills Network and their interests there. And but it's just at the beginning, and it's interesting because there are other initiatives like this around the world. What's different about it, which excites me, is a lot of the other initiatives are trying to go from the current system to a new system. Whereas because in the United States, there is no national system, they're starting from scratch. And I find that a lot better. And as you and I know, part of our project we're working with is to take a couple of Australian quality training framework packages, which, if I understand it, are Creative Commons, open definitions, and map them to the Rich Skills Network descriptor model, which means we can theoretically create a bit of a conversion model for the Australian skills framework to a machine readable form. Now, that might all be gobbledygook, but if you understood anything about what I just said, and some people, of course, understand it a lot better than I do, what we're moving to is making more use of what we have already, but in the workplace, in the individual's hands, in the hands of a person who has the need, rather than in the hands of an institution. And that's really where we're heading with that. So that's what excites me, is the idea that we could teach a bunch of people how to manage their own recognition going forward and argue for their own capability at any point in time. And I think that's the holy grail here. It's a bit of a dream, and maybe an ideology or an idealistic dream, but nonetheless, it's a vision. You know, it's a place to go where people can own their own data in that sense.